see entrepreneurship as the single greatest path for personal development, because if we define learning as fast feedback loops, there are very few other professions that give you that much feedback, that brutally honest brutally honest feedback as the market will do. And so at every point where I get stuck in a business, I think to myself, like, what skill do I lack? And I define everything by skill. So even traits, which is just a colloquial term, which is really just a bucket of many skills. I just think, okay, well, in order for me to appear confident or be confident, it's really like 38 things that I have to learn. And all of these things, if I break them down easier, I can do them. So it's like, okay, when I shake hands, I make sure that I web the middle of my hand and I squeeze firmly and I look at the person in the eye. It's like, that's thing one. Thing two is that when we're talking, like, you nod because you've been doing this for so long. But some people who don't know how to have conversations just stand like this. But somebody who's an active listener will nod. They'll say, oh, that's a great point, whatever. And so it's like, that's a second thing. When I walk into a room, I'm going to call people by name. It's a third thing. And so when I try and think about these traits of who I want to become, it's like, can I break these down into actions that I can actually do? Yeah. And so I think there's been a large part of the growth that I've hopefully been able to achieve. But in terms of the ultimate goal, for me, it's always just been to be useful. Mm-hmm. And if I think I just do that, then I like that it's such a simplified goal, because being useful it actually includes multiple parties, because you cannot be useful unless there's someone else you're being useful to. And so it gives you something controllable, which is that I have to learn skills so that I can serve someone else. And that is how I can ultimately be useful. Mm-hmm. And so even when we're making content or whatever it is that we're putting out, I always try to think, like, is this useful? Like, can someone will this change someone's behavior? I'd be like, I want to educate. It's like, well, what is education? It just means same condition, new behavior. So if someone has said their same day over and over again, then they're not learning. So if your day looks the same every single day, you have learned nothing. Mm-hmm. And so that means that if you listen to this podcast and then nothing changes about your behavior as a result, this was just entertainment, not education. And so that has been it's a very sobering point, because you realize, oh, I have to change my behavior in order to demonstrate that I have learned.